Hey y'all, welcome back. I came up with an idea of a topic to discuss, and we'll try to figure out the right title for this video, but it is about toddler decision making slash tips and tricks and things that my husband and I do to help encourage and get our toddler to do the things that we're wanting them to do. So, example, it's a non-negotiable to brush teeth. So, is it, hey, are you brushing your, like, one, we will let him brush his teeth first. And then, second, it's the, okay, do you want me to brush your teeth while you sit on your step stool? Or do you want me to brush your teeth while you sit on the ground? Or do you want me to brush your teeth while you're on my shoulders? Or do you want me to brush your teeth while you stand on the step stool? So, giving two options that you yourself are okay with and feeling up to, which I feel like is a big thing, making sure the options that you give your toddler when you're wanting them to do something is something that you yourself want to do. Because if you don't want to do it, like if you give an option, but you don't actually want to do it, you don't want them to choose that option, then it's not going to work. So some nights I am feeling up to having my toddler on my shoulders, and sometimes I am not, and I'm too exhausted and too tired. So I purposely choose which options I am feeling for that night. And sometimes he will ask for shoulders, and I'll say, no, not tonight, buddy. You can sit on your step stool or you can sit on the ground. Give him two options. And that's the other thing is do not change the options that you give. Once you give your options, stick with those and don't change it. And even if they start throwing a tantrum or they start crying or they start doing, because that's when you're being tested and they are trying to get their way. And I think for us, we haven't dealt with that a whole lot. And I think it's because early on, like we have stood our ground. And so we've worked through that unintentionally, like not really realizing, but we don't have to deal with it a whole lot, like here and there, of course. But for the most part, it goes pretty smoothly where he will ask for something else and we'll say, no, here are your two options. And then I'll count to 10, like literally count to 10 in my head to give him time to process it because their brains are so slow and it takes time for them to process the information. So once you present the two options, count to 10. And sometimes he's just so energetic before bed. It's the, okay, buddy, I'm going to repeat myself. And sometimes it takes 2, 3 times. And if it gets to the point where I've gone through it 3 times, I'll say, okay, you don't seem ready for this task. I'm going to go and do X, Y, or Z. Sometimes it's the, hey, I'm going to go and do the dishes, and then I will come back and check on you and see if you're ready. Because I don't want to waste my time, let alone, I don't want to risk losing my patience because that happens if I stay there for too long. I'll lose my patience and I get frustrated, and then it's not a good situation. So instead, if I've asked 2 or 3 times and it's not going anywhere, it's the, okay, I'll come back and check on you in a couple of minutes. I'm going to go do this task. I'm going to come back and then we're going to brush your teeth. Be very clear what I'm doing. And like some of the time he gets really upset with that because then he's like, okay, like I'll sit on the ground, like ground teeth is what he'll say. So it's like, okay, but I'm still going to go do my task. And just being very clear and allowing those 10 seconds to pass to give them time to process. And the repetition is huge. So for you, it's going to take practice. Before giving options, make sure it's options that you are okay with following through on. And then counting to 10 in your head, being okay to go through it 2 or 3 times. And then if their attention is just everywhere, it's okay to step away, go do something else, and then come back. And that's another reason why, like, we start a bedtime routine around 7 o'clock. Between 7 and 7:30 is when he's down for bed. So sometimes it takes, 30 minutes. Sometimes it takes 5-10 minutes. It changes from night to night. But I wanted to get across some of the tips that we use that I think work really well. And in that example, I think just highlighting the giving the options that you're okay with and following through, making sure that they do complete the task. And if after 2 or 3 times you need to step away to go do something, do it, then come back and then ask them again and tell them this or this. And eventually, if it's a really rough night, it's the okay, you are going to sit on the ground and I'm going to brush your teeth. I have chosen for you because you have not chosen. And sometimes that works too. In a pinch, it's the I've given you the chance to choose. You have not chosen. I am now going to choose for you. Or do you want to choose? You get one last chance. Like being very clear, go through it 2-3 times, walk away, come back. If they're still not choosing, okay, then mommy's going to choose for you. Do you want to have one last chance to choose? Yes or no? Okay, no response after 10 seconds. All right, we are going to sit on the ground while you brush your teeth. Again, just an example. And it doesn't get to that last point too often, but sometimes it does. And, just your patience is starting to falter at that point. So it's the, hey, you need to stick with it and you need to follow through. Like that's the point, is that you need to follow through whatever you're asking for so that it's very clear when you're asking them to do something, they know you mean it and that they're going to do it. I'll give another example of just getting out the door. Getting out the door, getting dressed, getting hat, gloves, jacket, shoes. He has a little owl backpack that he wears and we'll put a snack cup and water. So it's the sometimes, depending on the activity or what we're doing, it's the, hey, we're going to be going to the grocery store. We're going to be going outside. You need to go get your hat on. And this is while we're still cleaning up after lunch or cleaning up after dinner because we need to go run an errand. And it's the giving one task, just one item. Yeah, I listed off 4 or 5 things that he will need to do, but starting early gives time. So then, one, you don't feel rushed and you don't feel the pressure to just do the things for them because toddlers love independence, especially our toddler loves independence. And if we step in or we intervene before he's ready and not wanting our help, that's when he'll start getting really frustrated. So us starting early relieves the pressure from us for our timing of when we want to be out the door, when we need to be out the house because we have to be somewhere by a specific time. So while you're still doing something before you actually get ready, say, go get your hat on. All right, now go get your jacket. Do you want help with your jacket? Go get your socks. Like our son has had enough practice and knows where to find his socks in his drawers, where to find hat, where to find gloves, where to get the jacket. And sometimes we need help laying them out and then he will choose what he wants. And then same thing with shoes. Like he knows where the shoes are and he picks out which shoes he wants. He needs his help putting them on still, but he can go get them, bring them over, we'll sit down and put them on. But again, this is a process and it takes time. So just being very clear and having shorts and like, get your hat. Like it is very clear. Go get your hat and then put your hat on. Like just simplifying the instructions and not saying you need to get your hat, gloves, and da 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 da. No, like take a deep breath, take your time, go one thing at a time, start early so you're not rushing. I get there's going to be some times where you're rushing and you need to do a bunch of things or throw everything on and then get them in the car. I get that. But I'm saying in an ideal situation when you can control the timing and you're practicing, like, and that's the other thing, like practice, 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 repetition, 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 and that's how things will get easier. So again, I hope some of these tips are coming across. They work really well for us. And I think the practice, the options, also like just in general, when he is asking for something, our toddler's asking for something, picking and choosing your battles on when you're saying no. We really try to limit the times we say no. And a great example is yogurt. He loves having, like, we get the yogurt tubes and we freeze them, and we keep them downstairs actually. And he likes to have one per day, but he'll ask numerous times. And it's the, like, for example, tonight he was asking for yogurt right after dinner. And it's the, hey buddy, we can have a yogurt tomorrow. We just had dinner. If you're still hungry, go eat the food that's still on your plate, but you can have the yogurt tomorrow. So we're not just saying no. And he doesn't, they're toddlers. Like, they don't understand that, but it's the, you can have it tomorrow, or you can have it as a snack after lunch, or connecting it to a specific event. So another one that I use a lot is, you can have your yogurt when Eleanor is napping. When sister is napping, you can have your yogurt. So just tying it to something in their day that's consistent, or tying it to something to the next day, so that you're just not flat out saying no. Save the no's when it is something really important, or something that you need them to stop because it can be harmful to them. And really just taking the time to choose your words, because I just feel like if you use no too many times, and then it's not going to be as effective. And so explaining the reasoning, even though he's not going to pick up all the words that I'm saying or that my husband is saying, but it's the us getting the practice now, so that when he's 3, 4, 5 years old, as he starts to pick up more words, we're already in the repetition of explaining why, so that he knows, like, what to expect. And that's the thing. You're setting the foundation now, and that's going to help you in the future. So I hope those were helpful. These work really well for us. Not that we tend to just follow this specifically. Like, we've picked up tips and tricks from other videos, from other people, from other parents. And these are just a couple of things I think that really help us to stay calm when situations do get really overwhelming, and to pick and choose your battles. Like, is it a battle that, oh yeah, like, is it a battle worth fighting when our son goes and chooses to wear his robe as his jacket? No. So to us, no, you want to wear your robe, go ahead. That can be your jacket. Great. Tie the little strings in front of your little body, and we'll head out like that. I mean, if that's what he wants to wear, and it's only happened a couple of times, but it's the, you know what? He got a jacket. He's covered. He's warm enough to get to the car and into the grocery store. Cool. Like, he's being Mr. Independent. That's what he wants to do. Okay. We're going to let him do it. It's not harmful. I would rather just let him do it instead of saying, no, you need to wear this jacket because this is an actual jacket. No, at least to us, it's not worth it. There are bigger battles, more dangerous things for us to say no to and to watch out for. So we'll let him have that one. And I know it's easier said than done. Patience, taking deep breaths. The more that you yourself can control your emotions, they're going to pick up on that. And if you need a step away to calm yourself down, like going to your room, that's another thing a toddler has picked up on. It's he gets really overwhelmed and really worked up and just emotional because we're standing our ground. It's hey, do you want a couple minutes in your bedroom to calm down? And he'll say, yeah. And he'll go to his room and calm down. We'll come back out and we'll say, okay, great. Do you want to talk about it? And sometimes he'll say yes, and sometimes he'll say no. But just building those routines, allowing that trust, allowing your toddler to express their emotions, and it's okay. They're going to cry. They're learning their emotions, frustration, being scared, falling, like being hurt. There's a lot of emotions to work through, and that can be something else, I touch on, I think, with my childhood. It's I was taught to, like, hide my emotions and not express them. And so I think that really failed me, and I had to work through a lot of things, and still working through just how to express my thoughts and my emotions. And so I want that for our kids, to be able to assess what they're feeling, being able to express that clearly, to other individuals, so that they know how to handle it and what steps to take. Um, I realize this is turning into a lengthy video, but I hope you can take away a few tips from this. And thank you for listening. Thank you for following along. I'm just a mom trying to express what we're going through in our family and our life. Some things that are working for us and some things that aren't. So take away what you think may be helpful for you guys. And thank you for listening. Thank you for following along. And I look forward to us catching up next time. Bye.